Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab.
Welcome to episode 41. Be our lunch. Be our... Wait a minute. That's not right. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy.
And this week we are talking about the Be Our Guest quick service lunch. So this episode concludes our month on fun family restaurants that don't have characters. But first, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish?
Let's dish. Item 1. Exciting new Animal Kingdom entertainment. A new Bollywood dance troupe is now performing. Yes, Julie made the really excited face. It's almost the Ben in shock and happiness face. Parks and Rec, we gotta stop making references. That or you all need to start watching. Yeah, I'm just gonna start that all over because I have no idea where I stopped. A new Bollywood dance troupe is now performing several times daily in the India area of Animal Kingdom. I'm excited to see a bit more of Indian culture popping its head up in Animal Kingdom.
Does that mean we're going to get an Indian
restaurant? I hope so. Well, I hope so. They perform across... They perform... Say the word for me because I'm literally going to pronounce it wrong for the next forever.
What?
Just say
perform?
Perform. Thank you. They perform across from the Anandempur Theater on a small stage throughout the day. Definitely check them out. You'll probably be able to find when they are performing in the Times Guide that day, but the performances tend to vary from day to day often, depending on, availability of the performers and whatnot. So, pick up a Times Guide on your way in and check them out. Item 2. New opening times for a few fun places. The operating hours have been updated for Trader Sam's Grog Grotto and the Tiki Terrace, which I swear used to be the Tahitian Terrace, and we need to ask Latara if I'm just crazy or if it really was the Tahitian Terrace back when we met her.
I remember it was something longer than the Tiki Terrace.
Yeah, we have to ask her that. Latara is our cast member friend who we met at either the Tiki Terrace or the Tahitian Terrace or some
terrace
third
behind the Trader Sam's Grotto.
Yes. But yeah, so they are now, and they are both located at the Polynesian Resort in Walt Disney World. Grog Grotto's new hours are 3 p.m. to 12 a.m., and the Tiki Terrace is 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Which is a lie, because sometimes those open a lot earlier.
Yeah, so the Tiki Terrace...
Tiki Terrace.
Yes. The Tiki Terrace. I know. The Tiki Terrace. The Tiki Terrace used to be open.
I'm sorry. It should have been the Tiki Terrace all along, because that's a great name. That's not what it was called before, because I was not this entertained.
I know. It used to be open, I believe, a little earlier.
I'm just going to sing that as the background of this entire episode. Here we go, one more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Here we go now. Yes, here we go. NSYNC has got the flow. Yeah, NSYNC song.
The Grog Grotto used to open at either 4 or 5. I really want to say 4. Yes, 4. And I believe the terrace used to open a little earlier. So, yeah, at 3. So now they're both open at the same time. And you get a little bit extra time for Grog Grotto. So now, as we believe we might have mentioned at some point, because I feel like we've talked about Trader Sam's Grog Grotto when talking about the mugs and whatnot. Oh, okay. But generally, if you want, we will at some point go over this entire restaurant. It's just kind of waiting for the right episode. You want to get there a little early if you're trying to get there in the first few hours, get a seat in the first few hours that it's open, because people will line up a good half hour, 45 minutes, even an hour on, date nights, if that makes any sense, to get into it, because it's really fun and there is limited seating. There's a lot more seating out on the terrace and you can get the same food and the same drinks, but it's not the same amazing magical
atmosphere.
So just keep that in mind if that is on your list, that it now opens at 3, so you'll want to try to get there probably between 2 and 2:30 to put your name in.
We had our last meetup there.
Yes,
in
we
November.
did.
It was a lot of fun.
So it's a lot of fun, so just keep in mind the new opening hours so you can get a seat. Side note, as we've, again, not really gone super in-depth into this episode, 8 p.m., everyone under 21 has to go. They do a little song. I've never actually...
You can't go home. I mean, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I've never actually been there at 8 p.m. I've either been there before or after, so I've never seen the song, but I hear there's a song. And that is all for my news for today. That is all my news.
And that's Amy's news. That's Amy's news.
News on the 9th.
So, let's talk about what Disney says about Be Our Guest. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but... Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest. Put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Shelly, and we provide the rest. Dine in palatial splendor. Feast on French-inspired fare in one of our elaborately themed rooms straight out of the beloved Disney classic. Enter the Beast's enchanted castle for a quick service breakfast, lunch, or an unforgettable sit-down dinner. Bon appetit. So lunch is quick service.
It's fantastic.
You need to make a reservation for it, though.
There is a chance you'll get a walk-up, but don't count on it.
Our first time there, we waited in line for 15 minutes. It was right when it first opened, and it was in the pouring rain, and it was worth every penny.
And that was before it became that you realistically only could have reservations. Now they don't really
you couldn't
let
get a reservation at that point.
Yeah. And just so you know, Julie said 50 as in 50, not as 15 and 15, just to make it clear. So you know how long we were there for. And it was worth every minute.
It was so delicious that first. Okay, so most of the time we go now, you can pre-order on the mobile app.
Absolutely do it.
If you've made a reservation. Yep. If you've made a reservation, it prompts you to pick a food selection through an email or right through the mobile app.
30 days in advance.
Yep. So you can pick what you want to eat. And then you don't have to wait in line for the little selection kiosks. The first time we were there were little kiosks, and you select your food that way, which was really cool because there were pictures of everything. And it was kind of interactive and touchscreen and really cool, and you did it yourself. And then you used to get a little rose. And then you bring the rose with you to where you're sitting down, and the rose found where you were. Now your magic bands do that.
If you don't have a magic band, they give you a rose.
Or a little yellow Mickey thing, because I don't think they have the roses anymore.
I think I remember seeing a yellow rose. Instead of being red, it was exactly the same as the red one. It was just bright yellow instead.
It's really magical. So there's the 3 different rooms. If you haven't listened to our other episode, there is the West Wing, which is the West Wing. So you get to see the rose and the petals falling from the rose, which is pretty cool. And then there is a picture of the Beast that flashes during a thunderstorm to show the prince, with slashes through it, or the other way around. And it's very dark in that room, but a really fun experience. Amy and I used the flashlight on my phone to light our meals when we ate our breakfast and our dinner in that room, but still super fun. There is the main dining room, which is the ballroom, which is amazing and fabulous and wonderful and magical. And then if you want a little bit brighter room, there is the library, which it's not a library. Yeah, it's like the entrance of the library. It's basically the gallery, which is...
They're now calling it the Castle Gallery.
Ah, yes.
But I believe originally it was
the library.
Belle's library. Now they say, get swept up in the romance of Belle's private library. I know how to say library. I know how to say library. Oh my God, I'm just bad today. Get swept up in the romance of Belle's private library and inspired by the larger-than-life figures of Belle and Beast dancing, even though they're not moving anymore.
Yeah, there's no library.
It used to rotate. Not the library, or the lack of library, but the statue in the center used to rotate.
It rotated the last time we were there, and it was really annoying to get a picture of it because it rotated really slow.
I guess it depends. Sometimes maybe they don't remember to turn it on.
But it's basically a room full of giant portraits of different scenes depicted from the movie, which is actually pretty awesome. So, for soups, starters, if you will, they have a French onion soup and a potato leek soup. The potato leek soup is delicious.
The French onion soup is pretty delicious too.
Everything here is,
Yeah,
everything I've had is phenomenal.
It's quite tasty.
So, our first meal here, I had the braised pork, which is the slow-cooked pork with vegetables, mushrooms, and bacon with mashed potatoes and green beans jardiniere. This was so good. I think mine was beef, not pork, though.
Yeah, they have changed up the menu a little bit.
Yeah, but it was
since we've gone.
exactly the same thing, except it was short rib
Yes.
instead of the pork. It was fork tender. It was so delicious. The gravy that was with it, all the vegetables just went so well together. The mashed potatoes were so fluffy and so delicious. It was just absolutely phenomenal. And what did you have your first time? Because I know
I
we've had
had
the niçoise salad a million times, but
That
I
was
don't
my
think that's what you had the first time.
That was what I had the first time.
Was it?
The second time I had the vegetable quiche, but we'll get to that.
Okay. And then we've also both had the niçoise salad, which is amazing. But they have a French dip sandwich, which is served on a baguette with au jus and pommes frites.
The croque monsieur, which is a grilled sandwich of carved ham and Gruyere cheese, and bechamel with pommes frites.
Bechamel is a kind of cheesy sauce.
Yeah, it's a creamy, cheesy deliciousness, and pretty much just say yes to it if anyone asks and you like cheesy, creamy deliciousness.
Yes, there is the croque madame that Amy and I have both had for the morning meal, which is phenomenal, and the bechamel sauce is delicious.
Yes.
So I can only imagine it's just as delicious. Basically, their croque madame is an open-faced croque monsieur.
Yeah. Traditionally, a croque madame is a croque monsieur, but they dip it in egg before they fry it. But the one for breakfast is open faced. Just so people understand the traditional difference between the two. Vegetable quiche, which is mushrooms, zucchini, bell pepper, onion, and chive quiche served with baby lettuce and champagne vinaigrette. So when I had this, it was several years ago. I'm not sure if they've changed it any, but I felt like it could do with two things at the time, which was cheese, but saving for that, seasoning. I felt like it could have used a considerable lot more, just like salt and pepper even. Like obviously like maybe some herbs de Provence, that sort of French flavor, but it was just really lacking. If you have had it since then and disagree, don't think it's bland and think it tastes amazing, please let us know. I just have had no particular desire to try it again as my entree. Maybe sometime when we're there, we'll grab a third one for or a third entree for the table just to check it out, see if anything's changed. But, it was a pretty standard vegetable quiche. I just felt like it could have used a couple of notches up. Quinoa salad, which is a quinoa salad with chilled green beans, potatoes, olives, roasted bell peppers, golden beets, and tomatoes.
This does sound pretty good, but really just because it has golden beets in it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's the beets. And the tuna niçoise salad, seared tuna with chilled green beans. So seared meaning raw.
If you've ever had like seared ahi tuna.
Yeah, it's like seared ahi tuna basically. It's very good. Fingerling potatoes, olives, roasted bell peppers, tomatoes, hard poached egg, saffron aioli. It used to be a soft poached.
It is a soft poached egg.
Yeah, it used to be a soft poached egg and listed as a soft poached egg. I don't. Every so often it would come out overcooked as an egg, but it was still good. I don't know if they've changed it to a hard poached egg now, but it's supposed to be. It was very good when it was a soft poached egg.
They have the carved turkey sandwich. This is what Karen got. It is carved turkey sandwich, served on a warm baguette with Dijon mayonnaise and pommes frites.
And then they also give you the option for entrees of French onion soup and potato leek soup. Everything's a la carte, so you can pretty much get whatever you want, as much or as little.
They have a souvenir castle goblet, which is a light-up castle-themed souvenir goblet with choice of fountain beverage. There's the BR Guest Cup, which is also a souvenir cup with a choice of fountain beverage. An adult cold fountain beverage, and then adult hot beverage, and then there's some wines and some beers.
They've got, water, bottled water, milk, chocolate milk, Perrier. They've also got some wine-based cocktails. So they've got a peach Bellini and a Bessa del Sol sangria. The Schaffenhofer pink grapefruit Hefeweizen. They've got Kronenberg 1664, which is a French beer, apparently. Then they've got a few other beers, some French wines. They do have a champagne. So just, beers and wines and some beer wine cocktails.
Then for desserts, they have the Master's Cupcake, which is a chocolate sponge cake topped with Lumiere's special gray stuff. This one is probably my best way to have the gray stuff.
Yes.
Because at dinner they have the gray stuff on this like chocolate tart, and it's just not the same as the chocolate cupcake.
Now it's different though. When we talk about dinner again, we'll get there. But yeah, I feel like this is the best delivery situation for the gray stuff. And you can get it at breakfast, even though we're talking about lunch.
The strawberry one sounds delicious.
And we've already done a podcast about breakfast. Just like to remind people, you can get the gray stuff, the Master's Cupcake, at breakfast. You just have to ask for it.
And then they have the strawberry cream cheese cupcake, which is a vanilla sponge cake, strawberry mousse filling, and cream cheese icing. Like, you really can't go wrong with strawberry mousse and cream cheese icing.
Triple chocolate cupcake, chocolate sponge cake, chocolate mousse filling, and chocolate ganache.
A lemon meringue cupcake is vanilla sponge cake, lemon custard filling, and flamed meringue icing. That also sounds really delicious.
Chocolate cream puff filled with chocolate mousse topped with whipped cream.
A lemon raspberry cream puff is gluten-free, no sugar added lemon raspberry cream puff filled with lemon custard.
And the éclair à l'orange, which is a custard filling with zested orange and finished with chocolate ganache. Now,
I want more orange.
It used to be a passion fruit cream puff instead of...
Maybe it's seasonal.
No, it's not. Éclair l'orange. Because the first time we went, they had that, and it was delicious. And then the second time we went, I put in our orders ahead of time and whatnot, and I ordered the passion fruit cream puff. And they got rid of it the week before. I asked her, I was like, oh, is it seasonal? No, we just got rid of it, and now we have the orange eclair, and I was so sad, because the passion fruit cream puff was just the right amount of sweet and tangy. I just miss that cream puff a lot.
And then there is...
Moving on.
the kids menu, which is the Mickey meatloaf, turkey meatloaf with broccoli florets and zucchini served with orange stuff for dipping. It's delicious, don't believe us, ask the dishes. The Mrs. Potts platter, carved turkey sandwich on multi-grain bread with sweet potato wedges and applesauce. Is the Mickey meatloaf shaped like a Mickey? Because why would it be called a Mickey's meatloaf?
I feel like it is, but I'm not sure.
Lumiere's delight is grilled shrimp with broccoli and applesauce.
Les macaronis Maurice.
Whole grain macaroni with marinara sauce and mozzarella served with seasonal vegetables. Feast a la Beast is slow cooked pork with green beans and mashed sweet potatoes. And Chip's Delight is grilled cheese with turkey noodle soup and green beans. And then there are pommes frites.
I like that they have just pommes frites.
I like that
French
they have
fries.
quite a vast selection
they
for the
do.
kids' meal.
I enjoy it, but I also enjoy they just have a side of French fries under the meals.
Well, no, I know, but it's just they have shrimp, they have meatloaf, they have pork, they have grilled cheese, macaroni, turkey. It's just
it really is a good
menu
mix for kids.
I mean, it's also a good mix for adults
Oh no,
too,
but I mean like the kids menu.
it's not just like pepperoni pizza and chicken fingers.
Yes. A lot of times lunch menu tends to have very limited options for kids' meals as well, so it's good that they have lots of options.
This is just an awesome restaurant. Amy and I are big fans.
Yeah, and you make your reservations way ahead of time, 180 days, that's when you start looking, and do pre-order your food. Now, if you just don't know what you want, or it's a big party and you don't know what everyone wants, just order a handful of entrees, and when you get there, they're going to say, oh, do you want to make any changes? Be like, oh yeah, it looks like everyone changed their mind, and they're going to clear out what you've pre-ordered and take your new order, and off you go. But you don't have to stand in line for another 20 minutes waiting, to get up to the kiosk to order on your own. If you want to do the kiosk, feel free. We're not going to stop you. This is just sort of a little faster way to get your meal going.
Indeed. Because you kind of wait a little bit before your reservation, and then if you haven't pre-ordered your food, you also have to wait through the line of all the people picking out their food. So if you have an idea beforehand...
Like, obviously,
Try that.
if you do know what you want, or you have an idea of what you want, put that in, but obviously understand you can change, but even if you don't really know what it is, put something in so that you get to be seated sooner.
So this week's fan favorite food comes from Gina Waffles again. This is her third and final story that she shared with us. She says, on that same Easter 2011 Walt Disney World visit, my oldest son and I took the youngest two boys to Epcot. Oldest son and I had been there previously and loved World Showcase and wanted the younger guys to experience it. So we opted to try snacking around the world. We get to see each country and try a small food item. Seemed like a win-win situation. It was. We started in Mexico. Say what you'd like about the quick service food at La Cantina, but we sure loved it. It was our most favorite out of all the foods we tried. We all wanted to return to Epcot just for those nachos. And margaritas, for me at least. We like the margaritas in Mexico too.
We very much like the margaritas. And I told you the only reason I didn't stop and get a margarita at the stand when I was there with my mother was because it was absolutely pouring raining.
Thank you so much, Gina, for sharing that food memory. If you would like to share your favorite food memory and be featured on our fan favorite food segment, please send us your favorite Disney food memory. Send it to onelittlespice@gmail.com or share it on our Facebook page on the pin post. You'll see that at the top of the page. There is also direct message through Instagram and Twitter. Please share your food memories. We love reading them and we love sharing them with everybody else. We are also on social media. Make sure you follow us there. On Instagram, we are at @1__spice. On Twitter, we are at @OneLittleSpice. On Instagram. And on Facebook, you can search for One Little Spice, like our page, and make sure to join the One Little Spice group to continue the discussion after the episode. We are on Patreon. On Patreon is where you get some really awesome exclusives. You'll get our Magical Snack Corner extra episode. You will also get a button pack and some really awesome other cool stuff. So make sure to head over to www.patreon.com/onelittlespice to check out all the extra exclusives that you can get and become a patron. We are on TeePublic. That is where you can get all of our merchandise. So head to teepublic.com and search One Little Spice or click the link in the description. We have t-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs and baby onesies and some really awesome stuff. And last but not least, we are on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is The Taste Lab. You can subscribe to us there to make sure that you get all of our latest episodes and not miss anything. Right now we have Le Cellier's cheddar cheese soup that we make into a delicious poutine. And we also have the 7-vegetable terrine from Akershus. Coming up, we will have the chopped cob salad from the Hollywood Brown Derby and the Tonga toast from Kona Cafe. So again, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of those vlogs. It's just our way to help you bring some extra Disney magic into your kitchen. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice. That's not our theme song, guys. But first, yo, it's time for Amy. In the tiki room.
All the birds sing words and the flowers bloom.